So thank you again, everyone. Again, like Candy said, my name is Nancy Biner. We will be getting you through our experience with the Culminating project and the Seal of Biliteracy. And we're going to be taking you through what we experienced, the challenges that we faced, as well as what it looks like and how it looks like for us in the future. First of all, you're going to have all of the documents that we share are going to be in the shared folder with you. The Culminating project template that I use, I will be sharing also with you. And everything is going to be on our Google Drive and or that QR code. As Candy said, we're going to have a question catcher. I will put that in the chat box now.
Nancy, I'll take care of that. You can keep
Okay,
going.
thank you. Thank you so much. I will be answering all the questions in the order they are received. And like Candy said, if we have time at the end, we'll be able to unmute yourselves, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. We have 3 goals for today, so I wanted to keep it nice and simple to make sure that you got everything that you needed for this culminating project. The first goal for today is going to be that I can access the new Seal of Biliteracy rubrics with the check marks. This is very exciting for me, and now I'm going to be explaining why. The second goal for today is I can identify ways to make the Seal of Biliteracy into a more equitable process. And the third one is I can integrate the Seal of Biliteracy process and goals into my lessons by using the World Language Thematic units and modes of communications to achieve the goals of both Checkpoint C courses and the Seal of Biliteracy. So these are the new rubrics that have check marks in them. These are also going to be on the Google Drive. And what is nice about it, these are brand new this year. And we have rubrics for categories 1 and 2, categories 3 and 4, and classical languages. So as we do every year at Wappingers, what we do is at the end of each year, we figure out what is it that we are going to change. And one of the things that we used to do is we created our own fact sheet to allow the panel members to take notes looking for the function, accuracy, content, and text type as the students were presenting. This rubric makes it so much easier. It's very user-friendly because as we are evaluating our students, we can clearly check off what it is that they have done or not done, and then we can follow up with questions to try and get them to show us if they have met that proficiency level. I want to start with meeting the team because although I am your presenter for today and I was chosen as a presenter, I don't do this by myself at all. I have been teaching for 26 years and yes, I am the Seal of Coordinator and at our school, but my strength is that I work with an amazing team of world language teachers at our school, and we just work together. It doesn't matter whether they teach the Checkpoint C courses or not. We have integrated it so that our non-checkpoint C teachers also participate in the process and come and see the students' presentations so that they see where their kids are supposed to end up, and so that they see what they also have done for the students, because we do recognize that checkpoint C teachers did not do all the work by themselves. So it is a truly, truly team effort with my partners in crime, Senora Fusco, Madame Stechini, Senora Oliveira, Senora Banco, a lot of people who work with us. So let's start right away with the challenges. And in search of equity. During the first couple of years that we do this, our students were required to do that culminating project outside of the classroom. Many of the times we assigned it as homework assignments. We are also very, very big in feedback. So we talk a lot to our students after the project, and we tell them what worked, what didn't work, what could have made it better. And so through students' feedback, teacher feedback, and by attending lots and lots of hours in NYSED webinars, we came to realize that although we were being successful and the students that were going in front of the panel, our process was in fact inequitable because we realized that those students who had to work could not or had other responsibilities outside of school. They just didn't have time to work on their assignments, and a lot of times they ended up not completing their seal requirements or their culminating project. The students share with us also that they required more guidance to do the research and to apply the skills that they were learning in class, that they weren't getting when they were doing this at home. A lot of our teachers, we were staying after school. And then that meant that we weren't getting paid for this. We were putting in our own hours. So we felt that that was not fair nor sustainable. So the other question was, so how do we do this that is sustainable when we also have AP courses at the Checkpoint C? We have AP courses and an AP curriculum, and we have SUNY courses, and now we have DCC College Checkpoint C courses. So it was like, how is it that a teacher is going to have all of these different plans and at the same time incorporate this culminating project? So we decided to just incorporate it into our classes because they, in fact, fit very well together, right? The goals are very different. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, their goals are very similar. So what happened was that we created this culminating project that became a year-long process. We put it right into our world language classes. We wanted to make sure that the students demonstrated the proficiency and the cultural understanding required for the AP exams as well. We wanted it to be aligned with the AP themes for languages so that the culmination of the course would be a final presentation or a portfolio, keeping in mind that everything that we were doing throughout the class was developing the interpersonal, presentational, interpretive communications, and the cultural understandings of products, practices, and perspectives. So we decided, let's focus on our AP themes. But there was a challenge even on that, because how do we focus on 6 AP themes in isolation and have enough time to do all of this? So we sat down and we realized that, or decided that there were 3 AP themes that are more broad. So what we decided to do is break up our curriculum into the 3 broader themes of world challenges, contemporary life, and families and communities, and then incorporate the identity, science and technology, and beauty and aesthetics within those. And that we felt gave us a pretty good grasp on covering all of the different themes. We wanted to develop vocabulary and grammar skills related to these specific topics. We wanted them, again, because we were also teaching for the AP, for success on the AP, we wanted to engage in cultural discussions and comparisons. And at the same time, while we're going through these themes, we keep asking the students, okay, so start brainstorming for the things that we are discussing. Brainstorm on any ideas that you may have that you want to do for your culminating project, so that when we get to that part, you already have an idea of what you want to do. And more importantly, we ask the students, think of those ideas as they relate to your personal experiences and your interests. That became extremely important. So that, because we're going to be taking you through the entire year with this process, and it will, if you're not interested in what you're doing, you're going to be bored. So all of our students, we encourage them all to make sure that it's something that they're really interested in and that they find exciting. So how do we do it? With teacher support throughout the year for the students. Within our schools, our classes, we have regular check-ins and progress reports for the students. We have the theme lessons aligned with the project goals. We have individual and group feedback sessions right in the classroom. We provide the students with resources and materials if they need help with the researching, if they can't find the authentic resources, we guide them. This is where you go. Something interesting that I found is how the students don't even realize that even when they go to Google, when they search for something and resources, they always search in English. So we teach them, no, do your search in the target language. And when you do your search in the target language, Google is going to come back with your target language resources. So that was very important that we do now that the students did not have before when they were doing it at home. So after we explore the AP themes, we broke it down into this. Let me go back. We start in December. So between September and December, we are covering all of those. Let me go back to this one. We are covering all of these, right? We have our lesson plans covering all of the themes and getting them started with that. Come December, now we're starting to narrow. We asking them to choose their topic and their essential question. Asking them what aspects of different themes that we studied are of most interest to you. Choose an essential question. What is the question that's going to guide you? Have you done any community service projects that you can reflect on with Future Business Leaders of America? Some of our kids are doing, there's Seal on, what is that? Future Farmers of America, because they're involved in that club, or the Seal for Civic Readiness. anything pretty much, we start saying, what is it that you're interested in? And we collaborate with other departments for their English presentation, so that this year we started doing those in their junior year, so that the students are focusing on their English presentation this year, so that next year they can focus on the target language. We have them do cultural comparisons studies. Um, are they any creative work that they have? Some of them are artists, some of they are part of our drama club. Is there an art piece, a piece of art that you are interested in, that you created, that you want to do some research on it? So it really is, we talk to them for them to do something that it's going to be useful for them. We ask them to use whichever format appeals to the students. We have them receive feedback from teachers and their peers as we're working together in the classroom. And we ask them, how do you think, as you're choosing this essential question, how do you think that this project will benefit you personally? You're going to see this box is one of the documents that we use to collect all of the artifacts for the students. And we'll get into that a little bit. For December, we give them that a list of essential questions and the themes, and they submit what they have chosen to us. Now they have all submitted that by now. So this is the template that I've reworked for you, and I've reformatted so that you can make it, you can make it your own. The student explores the topic. They answer the essential questions. We guiding them in with supporting details. We ask them, you have to tell us what is the point of view, what is your opinion. Before you do any research at all, we start asking them, why did you choose that question? What do you think about it? What is your opinion about it? And what do you know? We are very big in having them use authentic resources throughout the project. Each of these boxes incorporate one of the modes, or one or more of the modes. So they are going to have a reading where they have to have an article and or a chart where they have to answer the essential questions based on that article and show that they are able to achieve at the interpretive mode. The same thing with the audio. So they are going to find an authentic audio, and during class time, they're going to listen to the audio and they're going to write a reflection of that audio. They're going to find a table. And so notice that I'm using articles, audios, and tables or graphics because we're doing two things at once. And those are the things that they're going to see on the AP exam, and that they have to maneuver those. So we help them formulate what is a thesis statement. How do you formulate the thesis statement based on the essential question, right? The biggest challenge that we had last year was this table used to be much longer, right? With a lot more things that they were supposed to do. And the kids got what we call Seal of Biliteracy fatigue. It was too long, it was too much. So we shortened it. We decided what are the essential things that they're going to need instead of repetition of the same types of activities, to avoid that fatigue. So we combined the activities and shortened the timeline. And that gave us more time to teach the research skills. throughout those lessons and to allow the teachers to use the format that is best for their style. This particular document is HyperDoc. I like to keep everything digital. And so the students submit everything, the hyperlink to the work here and their articles, and I keep everything digitally. Some of my colleagues say I'd rather have the paper. So they do the same type of activities, they just keep them in folders, whichever works for you. Um, so in March, we start redefining the project and creating a presentation with the students. We start writing on that particular template, boxes 8 through 13, guides them on step by step on how to write an argumentative research essay. So we chunk it for them instead of saying now you have to write an essay and they get all crazy because they just simply don't have that skill. And even we found that even our ELA AP students have trouble creating and developing an argumentative essay in the target language, just the formatting. So by doing this, we are able to just chunk it for them and guide them step by step. By box 15, we ask them to create, a presentation. We do not allow them to put any words other than the title. We do not allow them to put any words on there, on their presentation. What we do is we tell them, choose images that are going to remind you of what you're going to say. So whenever you see a graph, you know what you're going to say. And you may notice that some of these images, this was part of an actual presentation from last year that this gentleman did. And sometimes the question is, but that's in English. And my my answer is yes, and that means that when they're presenting, they're interpreting that. So that's part of also the interpretive communication. So we make sure that whenever they come to us, we tell them, you're the expert on this topic. So you're gonna walk in there and you're going to tell us, you're just gonna present your expertise. During April, we continue to refine and present. We practice presenting to the class in the target language. We ask them questions. Students ask questions. Teachers ask questions. Teachers and students give them feedback, what they liked, what they didn't like, what could improve. And the students keep practicing with us until we believe and they believe that they feel comfortable. This is super important because it gives them the opportunity to present in front of people and experience a little of the pressure before the actual presentation. Some kids say, I don't want to present. I'm just shy. I can't present in front of people. And so little by little, they do it and it eases their anxiety. It also gives the class an opportunity to use some of the good techniques from their peers. Some things that they like that the other person did, they're incorporated into their own presentation. And at the same time, it serves as the class to learn about the cultural aspects and the themes that they can use on their AP exams. So a lot of our students' cultural comparisons for their AP exams come from these presentations because they remember somebody, and then we're always tying it to one of the themes. And it also allows them the time to practice asking and answering questions in the interpersonal mode spontaneously. So the kids are asking questions, I'm asking questions, and they don't know what those questions are going to be.
Okay.
Um, Let me go back. I want to show you if you can go, Candy, do they have access now to that folder?
Yes, they do. And I'm going to put it into the chat one more time so they have the question catcher and the handouts folder.
Thank you. Because what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go into that template and see the type of activities that are in there. And perhaps try and think, how can I use this now in my own? What is it that we're doing right now that I can incorporate these? And if you notice, I also, if you go into it, I formatted it so that you are, let me see if I can access it. That's not it. Hmm. So if you go here, so I made it easier for you so that you have links in here, and you can just, once you make your own copy, you can just click on your own due dates, whatever works for you all. I gave you copies of what we use for the this is a Spanish one, a Spanish copy, for the themes and the essential questions. This is what they actually do, and you are welcome to change that. Because oops. And this is what they actually answer, their essential question. They submit the essential question. Are you able to see that in my? Okay, so they answer the essential questions, and this is where the very first thing after they know what the topic is and the essential question, they start looking for authentic resources and things that they articles, charts, videos, and audios that are pertaining to their topic, so for them to use. And I tell them, I say, you don't have to use everything. Right now, you're compiling everything to see what it is that when you do your presentation, when you do your argumentative essay, what sources you are able to use. I also give them the links to some of the authentic resources websites, so to make it easier for them to find. When they get to box 4, we're doing this in class. So we designate, depending on the teacher and in the group. I would usually say, I want to do a Seal of Biliteracy Wednesday. So every Wednesday, we are doing something. That's what we're focusing on. Some of the times, depending on the class, you need more than one day. So that's fine. And that's the beauty of it, because even though they're working on their own project, they're still working with the themes, they're still working with the modes of communication for the checkpoints on either the AP, the SEAL, the DCC, or the SUNY courses. So each one of these is a due date. Also, what I do, excuse me, what we do is if you notice up here on the directions, this also becomes the final exam. So it's not doing double work. It's not, oh, I have to do the Seal of Biliteracy and now I have to worry about a final exam. So this particular project, even if they don't go, if they decide I'm not going for the Seal of Biliteracy, they have to finish it because that's their final exam. So at that point, that's my bargaining chip to tell them, you're going to have to present to me anyway. You're still going to have to achieve intermediate high. So why would you not go for that seal if you're going to do the work anyway for your, because this becomes in fact your final exam.